Hey, Tap here. I'm in week 2. I am in reflection mode of week 1. What am I talking about? My 12-week journey. Whispers behind my smile. It's a journey within. I am giving myself an abundance of self love, self care, self nurturing over the next 12 weeks. Week 1 is officially behind me as of yesterday. And each week I focus on various areas of my life. I have decided I'm going to focus on 5 areas of my life. I thought about it last week and I wasn't sure if I wanted to really focus that on that much, but it makes sense based on where I have been tracking and trending throughout my journey, and it just makes sense for my ecosystem. Now, this is personal choice. I will leave some links below that kind of walk you through what Whispers Behind My Smile is all about, what Behind My Smile is all about, and this one I'm going to keep it to reflections. Um, I reflect every Sunday. I do that regardless. I'm always in reflection mode, by the way. I'm just saying, but I go a little bit deeper on a Sunday. Um, I find that it gives me a moment to really hold space, uh, give myself grace, and remember to be grateful for what I've been through for the week, good or bad. I've made it through, and I am usually in my bed with my journal and or on the couch, depending. And I try to really be appreciative of everything that has taken place. And sometimes that's not easy. If we have rough patches that we've been through throughout the week, it can hold space a lot bigger than it should. Sometimes it has to hold space for that big in order for us to get through. The only way out is through. But for me, going through this week 1, it already taught me some stuff about myself. I'm always in solution mode. Um, I don't know if it's a career hazard or just a way of life, childhood traumas and the like, but I always feel like I need to solve something, and usually in a timely manner. And for my career, it is important that I do that. But in my personal life, I am learning to separate that need and be intentional, yes, but take it at a pace that really makes sense and not be rushing to get something sorted. And I say this because last week I put some videos up that you'll see in the links below, and I talked about the 5 areas of my life that I'm going to be focusing on over these 12 weeks: mindfulness, movement, nourishment, body and soul care, and my home. So when I started talking and breaking it down a little bit more, while I was talking about setting intentions and remembering my why, I was also bleeding into the areas of, the to-do list of what I want to do in each area, as opposed to really just staying in the mindset of what is the reason why I want to focus on these areas? What's the intention behind that? And what does success look like on the other side? What success looks like on the other side doesn't necessarily mean I've checked off the 250 things that I want to do in my home. So that is success. For me, success means I have successfully incorporated a better flow into my life. And that has been my word. And I talk about that in a previous post as well. If I could describe one word that is a consistent word for me that I've been using for quite some time, I I started to realize that I have already been incorporating this, but I don't think I appreciated how much I have been incorporating this into my life. But for me, I want to have a certain flow. Yes, there's routines, there's goals, there's to-do lists and responsibilities and requirements and obligations and all that stuff. But I want to know that from the time I wake up in the morning to the time I put my head on my pillow at night, that I've gone through a flow of the day, even with the hurdles and the potholes and whatever else that may happen. But that flow is in alignment with where I am from a mindset perspective. So I'm in a point of peace, and I may have some disruptive things that may take place throughout the day or throughout the week. And that's fine as long as I don't have it shift me out of where I am mentally right now. It's figuring out how to align with. So when I was talking in a previous post, and I'm talking about, like from a body and soul care, whether it's a mani and pedi or whatever it is, like those are the to do things that I want to do. And I want to be able to track them, measure them, see my progress on how much I invested into myself to take care of myself. If I'm talking about my body and my soul care, if I'm talking about mindfulness, I want to make sure that I'm getting to that point of doing meditation two times a day. I've talked about that in a previous post. When you sit down to set intentions, when you sit down to remember your why, when you sit down to think about what does success look on the other side of I'm talking about my 12-week journey, but whatever journey you're on or whatever projects you're putting yourself through, and you want to know what does success look like on the other side, think about the feeling, think about the emotion, think about the vibe of it. Don't necessarily just focus on the to-do items of what you need to do in order to get there. That can happen at a later date, but enjoy each stage of the journey. And for me last week, I was bleeding into trying to solve and put together to-do lists and whatever. And I was like, rewind that and just focus the week on what are my intentions. Do I really think I want to focus on all 5 areas over the next 12 weeks? What is my why? And week 2 is all about that clutter and setting and building foundations. This is the week that I can start to get a little bit more granular behind each one of these areas that I'm going to focus on. Something else I noticed last week was how much progress I really have made in this journey, that I didn't start with a timer or a clock, but just where I was before I decided I wanted to start this and started. I really had to take that reflection moment and look back, and not just the last 12 months, but I'm talking like the last decade of my life, or even beyond that, to be quite honest. When I look at where I've been, what I've done, what I've not done, and the people, places, and spaces that have come and gone throughout my life, and some that has maintained presence, there's been a lot. And this isn't me being special. We all have that, right? If you stop and think about where you were in junior high to where you are now in, maybe you're retired, right? Where you were in high school to where you are now, where you have grandkids. The journey of your life has taken a path. And sometimes when we take a moment and look back, we can really appreciate what we have accomplished. And this is not just about the promotion and the high salary and buying the house and buying the car. This is coming into you being who you are, you being happy with who you are, even if you had some moments where you were not impressed with who you became at periods of your life, or maybe that's where you are now and you're trying to shift from that. But I always encourage, take a moment. You will hear me say it a lot. I've been talking about that as a way of life for me for a really, really long time. And even that, I noticed I say it a lot because I really do believe it. And I say it a lot because I don't do it enough. And I've been practicing that a lot more without even realizing it. So I've talked about this in a previous post where a lot of people say, don't look back, only look forward. And I always say you have to look back in order to figure out where you're navigating yourself forward. And I'm glad I do the look back. I'm glad I'm no longer sitting in the look back as long as I used to, because there's times I do that look back and I'm back where I was. The emotion is there, the anger is there, the frustration is there. And it's always the look back in the unpleasant moments. It's not necessarily the look back in the good moments, the celebratory moments. And those are the type of things that I'm seeing now, right? Where I can look back and say that there's certain things that would have angered me and set me off. And I'm at that stage now where certain things can anger me and set me off, and I can find a petty way to deal with it instead of a loud way to deal with it. We'll go with that. Week 1 was really important for me because it helped ground me that 12 weeks is not an easy journey. 1 week is not an easy journey, but 12 weeks is not an easy journey to commit to yourself. But sitting down, by the time I got to day 5 or 6, I really stopped and thought about, what am I really trying to accomplish for myself? And I wasn't going to publicly put this out there, but I'm putting this out there because whether somebody wants to start this journey now or they're going to come across this video at a later date and decide that they want to do it, I want to know that I'm able to help somebody figure it out as I'm figuring it out in real time going through this next 12 weeks. There will be some bumps along the way. There will be some celebratory moments along the way. But regardless of that, I know that I am keeping focus on what I'm trying to accomplish. And that really is just to love myself more. And I'll figure out all of the right way and wrong ways about going about doing so in a way that's intentional, it's authentic, and it's curated by me for me. So week 2 is all about building foundations and clearing some of that clutter. And I think I'm going to do that in a separate video, but I will link it probably in this one after I've posted it, just so somebody can just continue forward if they want to. But as I get ready to tap out here, I just want to take a moment and say, whisper behind my smile, there is purpose for me in taking myself through that journey. I can only hope that if you are watching these videos and you are interested, that you do consider taking a moment for you. I'm doing 12 weeks. You may decide you want to do longer or shorter. Again, the most important piece about all of this is prioritizing you and giving yourself the abundance of self love that you are worthy of receiving and nurturing yourself. So I'm going to end here, and I am going to do the week 2 plan or focus. And I really do hope that everybody is keeping blessed and having a fantastic day, night, wherever you are in the world. Peace, love, and blessings.